It's time for Commonwealth Common Sense with Susan Stimpson and Kevin Scholla.
Hey, Susan, how are you?
I'm doing great, Kevin. Thank you.
Well, obviously, Obamacare has been something we've been talking about again and again and again. Ted Cruz this past week, the 21-hour speech, and we've gone over a lot of this, but you have a different angle for us. This is something that reaches into perhaps aspects of our country that people don't realize, or aspects of politics that people don't realize. How does this affect your state?
Well, right now, as we know, we're coming down to two gubernatorial elections, one in New Jersey and one in Virginia, and the government shutdown could have an impact in the Virginia race. If you'll recall, last year when Barack Obama was up for the presidential election and the sequester was looming, the companies were federally required to let their workers know of a possible layoff, yet Barack Obama changed the rules and worked it out so that the federal workers did not receive those notices. But now we're watching the politicians try to play this, that the shutdown is going to be the Republicans' fault, but we can't seem to get our president to interface at all with Congress and with Senate on working through this issue.
And you have the Republican there, Cuccinelli, and the Democrat, McAuliffe. What are they saying as far as Obamacare? Are they steering clear of it? Are they putting their own spin on it? What have you gotten from the two gubernatorial hopefuls?
Well, just last week, Terry McAuliffe said that he was willing to shut down Virginia government over the expansion of Medicaid, yet now he is saying that the Tea Party that Ken Cuccinelli is allied with are the ones that want to shut down the federal government that's going to impact Virginia. So there's just a constant hypocrisy coming out of the Democrat side. Ken Cuccinelli has said very clearly that he does not want to see the government shut down over this. And really, it is the role of Congress to control the purse strings, and this is how government works. You get your president involved and negotiating, but right now we have a president unwilling to do his job. But he will negotiate and talk to Iran.
And then again, does it even matter what any of the candidates say? We just saw all of these Republican senators in Washington who campaigned on stopping Obamacare, and they all then did not vote to defund it, except for the few that did stand with Ted Cruz. So, a lot of times it's just a words game.
It is, and I think that the American people are tired of the games. And the one thing that you can say about what Ted Cruz did, it certainly brought this issue into the light, and there are more people that understand a little more about it and that they are paying attention to it. And very clearly the poll numbers indicate that the American people are not satisfied with Obamacare. We're seeing increased costs, and the president himself is the one that wants to change the rules and put off the individual mandate and some of the legislation that would go into effect because they're not ready. It's simply a disaster.
What's your take on if things get delayed for a year? Not what we wanted. Obviously, we were looking at the Ted Cruz approach. But if things did get delayed for a year, is there any way to elect, say, Republicans in the Senate, a Republican president, to go ahead and turn this around, or is it going to be past the point of return at that point?
I'm not so sure. The one thing I did think of this morning with the vote that was taken by the senators, and those senators who talk a big game about wanting to stop Obamacare, yet they voted in a different way, you do have primary elections in Mitch McConnell's district in his state. You have primary elections in Lindsey Graham's state. So I do think that this will have an impact. I'm not saying that it's going to change the outcome, but certainly it does change the narrative, and the pressure is on these leaders who are not doing what they say they're going to do.
And another point here, folks, looking ahead to 2014 or 2016, you got to remember Virginia and New Jersey, two gubernatorial races, plus a U.S. Senate race in New Jersey. So some things going on right now in 2013 as well. Susan, we appreciate it.
Thank you, Kevin.
Susan Stimpson in Virginia. More Commonwealth Common Sense next week.